In the Carolina Panthers' 30-27 win over the Dallas Cowboys, Rico Dowdle was the definitive standout player, racking up 239 total yards, including a massive touchdown reception. This is the second week in a row that Rico Dowdle has popped off after a 206-yard rushing performance in Week 5 against the Dolphins. Luke, you wrote a piece on Athlon Sports titled, "Rico Dowdle is a man of his word." Can you tell us a little bit about the history between Rico Dowdle and the Dallas Cowboys and why this game is so important?
Yeah, I mean, Rico Dowdle is used to proving people wrong. He's an undrafted free agent coming out of South Carolina, spent 5 years in Dallas, and last season rushed for over 1,000 yards for them. And so coming out of that, you're hoping, hey, maybe this team's going to invest in me long term. I've proven I can be a 1,000-yard rusher. And they just didn't do it. They didn't think they needed him. And again, they went with Javonte Williams, who's had a great start to the season. But Rico had to have this game circled, right? And again, nobody ever wishes injury on anybody. But when Chuba Hubbard goes down a couple weeks ago and you're looking ahead to this game, I can't imagine Rico wasn't saying, man, I really hope I get to stay in the starting lineup for this game and get a chance to run against my old team. So again, like you said, Week 5 against Miami, he absolutely goes off. And then this week, he's a man of his word because he told the Cowboys what was coming. He told them they better buckle up. And then after the game, he was asked about that. And he said, well, they weren't buckled up. That's plain and simple. That's how it was. And they weren't, man. I mean, I love to see a guy talk his trash and back it up. I'm a big fan of that. He was calm and collected in the way he told them what was coming, and he delivered. And again, this is why the people who tell you can find a running back anywhere say that, because there are guys like Rico Dowdle who fall through the cracks in the draft. They don't get drafted at all. They finally get their chance to shine as a full-time starter, as he did last year. He rushes for over 1,000 yards. And then the team he did it for gives up on him again anyway, and so he's got to prove it again. He gets a one-year deal in Carolina to come be the backup to Chuba Hubbard, basically, who signed a big extension in November of last year. But the Panthers had Jonathan Brooks, who's injured again, but they spent a second-round pick on him last year. They just spent a fourth-round pick this year on Trevor Etienne out of Georgia. So you've got all these different backs in this backfield. But Dowdle, the last 2 weeks, has been an absolute workhorse. He's touched the ball 30-ish times in both of these games. He's impacting the game as a full-time rushing attack type of guy that you can give a full load of carries to. But he's also gashing defenses as a receiver. And to do this in a game against Dallas, where Javonte Williams, I think, let's see what it was. It was 13 carries for 29 yards, 2.2 yards per carry for the guy they picked instead of him, while he goes off for 239 total and a big touchdown and a big win for them as well, for the Panthers. I mean, it was sweet justice for Rico Dowdle, and as a again, never want to see the Panthers win as a Bucs guy, but Jerry Jones being sad always makes me happy. So seeing the Cowboys lose is fun, but it was fun to watch a guy in Rico Dowdle who, again, this is why the game is so fun to watch, right? A guy that was just a backup a couple weeks ago. These last 2 weeks, he's a guy that wins you your fantasy game on his own, basically, with 200 plus yards. So kudos to Rico for talking his trash and backing it up. It was a fun performance to watch, and going to make it interesting for the Panthers. Obviously, when Chuba Hubbard comes back, he'll be the guy again. But to have that guy as your backup, you're going to see plenty of him. And opposing defenses are going to be very sad to see a fresh Rico Dowdle in the fourth quarter the rest of the way.
Well, and before we discount this, as he did it against the Cowboys defense that may be among the worst of all time, maybe the worst ever. Hello, Matt Eberflus. What are you doing when the season is over? The 2024 Cowboys, they had all these different running back options that were going to work. None of them did. So they turned to Dowdle, who was a UDFA in 2020 out of South Carolina, I believe. And he had multiple 100-yard games. From weeks 12 through 18 last season, only Derrick Henry and Saquon Barkley had more carries, and only Barkley, Henry, and Jonathan Taylor had more rushing yards. So then the Cowboys decide, we'll just, move on. Good for the Panthers picking him up. I don't know why he was behind Chuba in the pecking order before. I did some work on him last year when he was making all those, this is a really tough, decisive, one cut and go guy. And it's any scheme. It's if you like gap, if you like power, counter, inside zone, outside zone. And when you watch those plays against the Cowboys, it's not just... And it's funny, they traded Micah Parsons, by the way, because they wanted to be better against the run.
That's what they told us.
That's what they told us. Yeehaw. So yeah, it was against the Cowboys, but really the way the offensive line was blocking, he is a perfect fit for that offense. And he mentioned it. Dave Canales has mentioned it. It's one of those just ideal fit things. I'm not going to say he's going to go off for 2,000 yards, but he's proven now, not just this season, but last season, he can be a top 10, top 12 running back in the NFL. He's already proven that. He proved it last year against defenses that weren't the Dolphins and the Cowboys. So good for him. By the way, so 6th running back of the Super Bowl era with at least 225 scrimmage yards and a touchdown in consecutive games. The other guys, Dalvin Cook, Le'Veon Bell, Deuce McAllister, Marshall Faulk, and Walter Payton. Is that good? I think that's good.
That's pretty good. I think the most interesting thing is going to be what happens at the end of this season, because, again, he's only on a 1-year deal. Chuba Hubbard signed a 4-year extension, like I said, last November, to be the guy, and he's a year younger than Dowdle, but Dowdle's still only 27, so he's going to hit the market again next year, and if the Panthers don't want to pay him to be the backup again, somebody hopefully will wise up at that point and pay him good money to be their starter, because he's proven that he can do that.
Yeah, it's not going to be about money. It's going to be about role. It's going to be, I'm going to be the starter because I've proven that I can be. I mean, what else does he have to do?
I think he angles for the Jordan Mason deal, right, where he gets a 2-year deal from a contending team like Minnesota, hopefully for a bigger role than he was assuming with behind Aaron Jones in Minnesota. But he'll want something more secure than a 1-year deal, and he'll want a role that is befitting of what we've seen from him when he's been the starter, because this is who he is.
And I think the nice thing about Dowdle is, like I said, it's every possible running scheme. It's like, oh, we are more of an outside zone team, so we can't use him. He's more of a gap guy. He can run behind anything. So, and that Carolina offensive line, I mean, they like to physically punish people. It's not a great line, and he's done some really nice work behind it.
He's also not every 27-year-old running back either. He doesn't have a full load of carries throughout.
Not a lot of miles there yet.
Yeah, so I mean, you're not getting a guy who's been starting and carrying the ball 200 plus times a season for the last 4 or 5 years. He's going to be fresher than a lot of those guys, and I think he'll be more valuable on the market because of it.
499 career snaps, 414 career attempts. So
not a lot for a 27-year-old. I'll take it.
No. That's like Saquon Barkley's season last year.
Right.
Yeah, in the last 2 weeks alone, he's run for 20% of his career rushing yards. So,
but again, this isn't a one-hit wonder. He did it last year when the Cowboys gave up on everyone else. He was doing it. He looked like a top 10 back, and that's what based on the evidence, I think that's what you have to say he is.
So are you a Rico Dowdle believer? Let us know in the comments below.